founder of Bags of Hope. If you are new here, welcome. Thank you so much for coming in. We hope you come back. So, Bags of Hope is a nonprofit organization that strives to aid those that are homeless as well as those that are less fortunate. And we do that by providing backpacks filled with toiletries, as well as food. And we also provide education as well as words of encouragement, because it's a very difficult stage to go through life. I know I went through it myself, and we just want to help people rebuild their lives. So today we're going to talk about coronavirus relief. And under this topic, we're going to talk about subtopics. And the two subtopics we're going to talk about are global relief and local relief. I'm based in Minnesota, so all the local relief I discussed today are going to be everything Minnesotan. So here we go. So for global relief, we're going to talk about the CARES Act. And for those of you that haven't heard about the CARES Act, the CARES Act stands for Coronavirus, AIDS, Relief, and Economic Security. So under this CARES Act is the stimulus check, aids for those that are unemployed, and aids for small businesses. So those are the three things we're going to discuss under this CARES Act. So for the stimulus check, let's talk about who gets it, who doesn't get it, and how are we going to get this check. So for those that don't get the check, include those that make $198,000 that are married, and those that made $99,000 that are single. So if you are in either one of these categories, you do not get that checked unless you have a child that is under the age of 17. Then you'll get that $500 per child. Those that get it are those that make, for married people, it's those that make $150,000 or less. Or if you're single, you make $75,000 or less. So with the $150,000 married couple, you would be getting that $2,400. And if you have a child, it would be an additional $500 plus per child. For those that are single and make $75,000 or less, you would be getting $1,200 flat. And then if you had that child, you would get that $500 in addition if they meet those requirements as I spoke about earlier. So that is the stimulus check. And also, if you apply for your taxes, you will be getting your stimulus check in your bank. It will be directly deposited to your bank. But if you did not fill out a tax return form or have not applied for any taxes, you will have to fill out a tax reform form, and that form is the 1040. So you can go to us.gov and read more about it. The form and how to fill out that form is not available yet. I checked, but they said to keep checking back to be able to get that form to fill it out. So that is the stimulus check. So now we're moving on to small businesses. Those that have small businesses are going to be given a grant of $10,000. This grant can be used for any expenses related to your business. And this grant is for those that have 500 employees or less, or it's a nonprofit. It's a nonprofit private organization, or it's an organization for veterans. So those are the people that are under that category. And then for those that pay their employees 8 weeks, you don't have to pay this grant back. So, you don't have to pay this loan back. So take advantage of the small business loan. And then finally, under this act, we're going to talk about those that are unemployed. For those that are unemployed, you get the $1,200 flat if you meet those requirements, or $2,400 depending on if you meet those requirements, and you also get $600 per week up to 6 months. So please take advantage of that as well. You also get 13 extra weeks of benefits beyond what the state would provide. The next global aid we're moving to is mortgage relief. So for those of you that are paying a mortgage and you're concerned and you just don't know how you're going to pay your mortgage, if your mortgage is backed by Fannie Mae or Freddie Mac, you can reach out to one of those loaners and ask for a suspension. And this suspension can be for up to 12 months. So please reach out to your loaners if they're one of those and see if you can get that going. And then also for homeowners, you can consider the HELOC. It's HELOC, and this allows you to pay for your mortgage with the earned equity from your house. So take advantage of that as well. And then for those that pay rent, you can Google eviction relief, and if it's available in your state, you can get relief up to 90 days. So 30 to 90 days you can get relief if that is available in your state. The final relief under global that we're going to talk about is Feeding America. Feeding America is one of the largest organizations in the world when it comes to food and feeding people. So basically, Feeding America, you go onto their website, feedingamerica.org, and you search by your zip code or your state, and all the locations that they serve in your state will pop up, and you can utilize those resources. So please, guys, please take advantage of all of those global resources. We're all in this together. This is such a hard time for everyone, and I hope these resources will help you. Now we're moving on to local resources. We have a lot to cover. So once again, this is for Minnesotans only. So for local aid, we're going to talk about child care. For child care, when you call the number that I'm going to give you, be specific as to what category you fall into. Are you a parent or are you an essential worker? I mean, you can be both, but be specific as to which one more pertains to you, because depending on what you tell them, they're going to give you different numbers. So the number for child care services is 651-297-1304. That's their business. Or you can call the local number, which is 1-800-675-3504 for child care. Okay. And for employment opportunities, so these resources that I'm speaking of right now are all coming from the 211unitedway.org website. So for unemployment, on this exact website, you can scroll down and you will see unemployment, and just click on the tab, or employment, and click on the tab, and basically it will pull up every single businesses in Minnesota that's hiring, as well as the links to their direct application, so you can just apply for the job right there. You don't even have to Google or anything, and they will tell you exactly the position that they're hiring for, and you can decide from there if you are capable or even interested. And then our final two local resources coming from the United Way are both based in St. Paul. And the first one is the St. Paul Bridge Fund for Families. So the St. Paul Bridge Fund for Families is for those that make less than $40,000 a year, those that have one minor child living in the home. Your income has to have been impacted by the coronavirus, and it's a grant of $1,000 per family, so take advantage of that. But this is for St. Paul residents. And then the second St. Paul resource is called the St. Paul Bridge Fund for Small Businesses, and this is giving all of those that have small businesses in St. Paul $7,500 to use it to pay your employees or whatever expenses you have for your business. And the requirements for this are you have to have a gross of less than $2 million. You have to have had that business in St. Paul for at least 3 months. And your revenue have to have been impacted by the coronavirus. So you have to be able to prove that through your data that you've been collecting. So yeah, your records. And some other resources that you can take advantage of is New Bethel Baptist Church has dinners every single day from 5:30 to 6:30. It's located in North Minneapolis, right around Lowry. You can just pull up and get your meal and leave. And then also another resource is Mena Market. Mena Market, you can Google Mena Market and just put in your state or your zip code, and every single location they serve in an entire Twin City metro area will pull up, and you can utilize that. And they give bags of groceries, not 1 to 2 food items. You're going to get a box or 1 to 2 paper bags of groceries that will be able to hopefully carry you for 2 weeks, if not more, depending on the size of your family. And then last but certainly not least, it's us, Bags of Hope. So we provide, as I stated in the beginning of the video, we provide backpacks filled with toiletries and food. And sometimes we'll have cash on hand to kind of aid people with getting a hot meal. So just kind of DM us and check what we have available. But we definitely have backpacks filled with toiletries and food. So please take advantage of us. If you want to know what's in the backpack, you can just look at our Facebook picture, or I can also just insert a picture or send it to you if you DM us. So please, guys, take advantage of every single one of these resources. I hope they help you. And this is such a hard time for us all globally. But we can get through this together. We're going to come out of this stronger than ever. And I just pray that God continues to carry each and every one of you, protect you. And as the day go on, relieve your mind. Bring the things you need, guys. Please take care of yourself. Please take care of each other. As a healthcare worker myself, I have to put out this PSA. Please stop buying all the supplies that we need for sanitation. We are low everywhere. So please, guys, be so considerate of us taking care of your loved ones. We really can't do our job properly if we don't have the proper resource, guys. Take care of yourself. Please stay safe. And last but not least, please stay home. Thank you all for tuning in. Let the Lord lead you, guide you, and always protect you.